My name's Shay White, and I have been incarcerated at Rockville Correctional Facility for almost 20 years. I was a nurse, a mother of 4, a wife. I had a pretty full life. I never thought I would end up in a place like a prison. Arriving at a facility, I just felt completely isolated. I just couldn't accept the reality of prison because, again, my children were very small. My husband was my best friend, and I had just pretty much lost everything that I'd worked for my entire life. The things that you lose in here, it's identity almost. And you either conform to a new normal or you try to create one because it's totally a different world than the world you came from. Anywhere away from your family is not a good place, but the facility itself, the things that's offered here, things that you wouldn't expect to find inside a prison. Rockville has a plethora of things like that. I first heard of the Global Leadership Summit through Chaplain Deacons, and I would drive him nuts. I'd be like, I want to go to that. And so I had ideas, and I still was involved in a lot, but not to the point where I would come forward and say, hey, let's try this. Maybe we propose this? Maybe this would help. Because GLS makes you realize that even in a place like this, you can lead.
The very first experience I had with Global Leadership Summit, that everyone was so excited about it and wanted everyone to sign up, and I was hesitant. I'm not a leader. Why would I want to watch something about leaders?
I've watched these young girls decide that they can be something, that they can go out and be a leader in the community. And I think GLS has just really gave them hope. I just thought it was amazing that they would do something like that for us in prison.
So in 2021, I was in the chapel watching the Global Leadership Summit, and it was about influencing people. And I can't remember the exact thing, but you can be an influencer, I think, or something like that. It was a super great summit, right? And one of the first speakers was an author, I think her name was Michelle Poehler, and she wrote a book on facing 100 days of fear.
Because to me, the 100-day project was only the beginning. But now, instead of perceiving every fear as an obstacle, I choose to see it as an opportunity.
So when I'm sitting here watching that, all these ideas kept coming to me about the fact that I want to be challenged to step out of my comfort zone to change this facility. Something needs to change. The word that kept coming to me was kindness. Kindness. I started thinking of, what if we took 100 days and we just did different acts of kindness here? How would that look? So I made 10 categories, like be a friend, be courageous, be encouraging, like all these things, right? And I started thinking of challenges for every day of the week. And I wanted to really pull you out of your comfort zone. Some of them are easy, like saying hi to strangers and opening a door for somebody. But then there were other harder ones. Talk to somebody you don't know. Somebody you don't like. If you see somebody crying on the phone, take them a tissue, right? Because I want to change the culture. I want us to start realizing that we're more alike than different. Even the ones you're never going to agree with, right? You still have things in common, and you don't have to hate each other. We all do that to an extent that we see somebody and are like, that's not for me. That's not somebody I want to talk to, right? But the point is, when you start doing that, it helps you start realizing that there's good in everybody.
The Kindness Challenge has opened up not only my eyes, but the eyes of several around me, that we're in this together, that being kind is a choice that you can make to make the world a better place.
I've noticed with the challenge, the Kindness Challenge, that staff have become interested in it. Incarcerated individuals have recognized staff for stepping out of their way, doing the little things. It gives them an avenue to be able to recognize and acknowledge that staff member. It makes the staff feel like what I'm doing is worth it. And in turn, before you know it, you're doing extra things too to try to help, and knowing that it's making a difference.
It has been a movement. It's been a ripple effect. I truly believe in action. When people see you doing things, they tend to follow more, because words are hollow at the end of the day. You know, it's really what you do is what people pay attention to. So when other people see that, it spreads. And that is what has happened within Rockville with this Kindness Challenge. It's like one small act at a time.
I've watched the Kindness Challenge affect people. Personally, I've watched people who wouldn't get out of bed and do anything. They're doing things now that amaze me. And they'll tell me, I was so uncomfortable doing that, but I'm so glad I did it. And so, like, those are the ideas that come from GLS. I can't tell you the impact that GLS has had on my life in this prison. I can't describe to you the difference that it's made, and it still makes. From just listening to one of the speakers, I have gained so much hope, encouragement, knowledge. And the point is that people from prison will eventually be in the communities, and it makes a big difference. If we start becoming leaders in here and start walking out there, then you're gonna have people out there making a difference. Watching people leave here and never come back to prison. Watching people leave here without throwing their time away while they're here. That's the things that GLS can do, and that's inside the prison, but I can't imagine what's gonna happen to some of the people who I've watched change through GLS when they leave here, because they're not the same people.